What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe D Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great day. Um, I screwed the pooch. I messed up because I actually recorded this video the first time, and my microphone up here, it's a shotgun mic, was turned up too loud, so it was like it was just too much Mark Holmes, and so now I realize that I got to reshoot it, but it feels good to be back home, if only for a little bit of time. I may end up going back to the Red Brick House tonight, so that way I can see my baby, because I have not seen her since last Monday, and I miss my baby. Can't wait to see her, but trying to get some things done here at the house and stuff. And we have our live stream at 5 o'clock Eastern, our Zoom call, and that's going to be fun to have everybody to get their opinion of what excuse me, happened with the Cowboys here at the draft. So my question to you all, first of all, is, did the Cowboys start to win you back? Did they do some things that you look at and say, okay, maybe there is a plan here? You know, we go through these cycles, right? Where we lose in the playoffs, we get trashed, then we're told we suck because we didn't sign any free agents, and that we need to get a new owner, a new GM. We all get mad and emotional. Then we have the draft. We feel like we did some good things because that's what we do. Then we start signing a few players, and then by the time the season gets here, everybody's saying that we're a Super Bowl contender. You know that, right? Right. So we went into this draft knowing we had holes on the offensive line. We didn't re-sign Biotish, and he ended up getting paid, getting good money. We didn't re-sign Tyron Smith, and he got old. Going into the draft, you got two top 40 offensive linemen, or excuse me, two top 40 players for the offensive line in the draft. There'll be growing pains, of course, but you got some maulers. And I dare say that because of being younger, we might see some moves kind of like Tyron Smith of, old. Not old Tyron Smith, but being able to just move people out the way. So check off that hole. Linebacker. You got yourself a nice run-stopping linebacker. Check that off the list. Edge rusher, after losing Dante Fowler and Dorrance Armstrong. You got run-stopping defensive ends along with Sam Williams and Golston. So you can kind of check that off the list. For some of y'all, you'll say quarterback. You didn't check that off the list, although some will say, we already did with Trey Lance. And Jerry Jones has kind of said that, we look at it as, we got Trey Lance, and, that would have been a quarterback that we would have taken in the fourth round, just like we did old Dak Prescott. That's the kind of stuff to say. The spot where they didn't address anything, of course, is running back. Now, it's funny because we've heard, a couple days ago that Zeke Elliott signing was going to happen at any moment. We heard that, right? Any moment has passed, and Zeke has not been signed. I'm just pointing that out there. Just pointing that out. The question is bringing Zeke back, if that is the only plan, with the guys that we have, is that enough for us to make a run? Now, a couple of things on this. We had Zeke Elliott as a young guy who was getting 4.6, 4.8 plus yards a carry, and we didn't go very far with that. When you look at having a bellwether back in recent history, the last time I can remember great running backs winning would be like Marshall Faulk. It would be like Terrell Davis. It would be like Emmitt Smith. But in recent history, The bellwether backs, the Adrian Petersons, the Todd Gurleys, they're not winning Super Bowls, the Barkleys. And I think there's a reason to that. And the same thing with Zeke Elliott is. When you are the lead back and you're getting that big contract and you are that high draft pick, they use you too much. That during the season, you're getting all these carries, but by the time playoffs get here, playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. By the time playoffs get here, what happens is you end up having your bellwether back basically worn down. Think about the last 2 years with Zeke Elliott. First half of the season, he's balling. And then he gets a PCL injury or he gets a hyperextended knee. And as the season goes on, they're not effective. In fact, Zeke Elliott in the playoffs, I want to say the last playoff game he played, he had 28 yards, and I think only like 22 the year before. So you're not looking at a whole lot of production by then. And if you look at a guy, I hate to tell you this, Eagle fans, when you look at Saquon's first half of the season, he's balling. If he makes it through the whole season, by the time the season is over, he's not very good. And herein lies the problem of having a running back worn out. Zeke has not got the burst that he used to have. But Zeke does have some things that are good. Incredible pass blocker who is not afraid to put his head in there and save his quarterback. And he's good in short yardage. And those are two things that we were definitely missing last year. That's a benefit. Now, I don't know if that's going to be enough. Now, of course, Jerry Jones is out here saying, of course, that the cake's not done yet. We're not finished baking it. And that, teams have won Super Bowls signing running backs during the season. Well, the Cowboys don't sign too many people during the season, so there's that. And I do recall the one Super Bowl winning year, the only one Super Bowl year for the Eagles. They did trade for Jay Ajayi from the Miami Dolphins, who was a guy who I actually liked coming out of college. But what they said about him, which was 100% true, is his knees will not hold up for more than a few years, and they were spot on that. So that is conceivable. Now, the other part of this is Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy, forget that he says, I just want to run the football. Here's what's interesting. Think about this for a second. The year before, when we had Zeke and Tony Pollard and Kellen Moore calling plays, they rushed for around 2,000 yards, right? Last year, we rushed for about 1,600 yards. As a team, we weren't good at running the football. But Dak Prescott, with Kellen Moore gone, and Mike McCarthy here running the offense, without that running game, 36 TD passes and only 9 interceptions. The offense was actually more effective not being the big running team than it was the passing team. And that's really Mike McCarthy's philosophy. And when they won the Super Bowl in 2010, their lead back had only 731 yards. What they had was a lot of receivers, and they went 3 deep on tight ends. So maybe this is exactly what they're looking for the Cowboys offense. If you get a guy like Derrick Henry, you're looking at running the ball a lot more. And that is counterintuitive to what Mike McCarthy wants to do. All right, good people. We've got our live stream at 5 o'clock, about an hour and a half from now. I'm going to go out here and get my grass cut before then. And I'll see you guys there. Have a great one. Peace.